So basically what I have to do now, I'm going to put beads along the edges so I could use this to connect the intake pipe to the turbo coupler. Go from there. Normally if you have a bead roller you can do that, but I don't have one. I've already spent too much money on this project. I'm gonna clean this up. Nothing sharp that's going to break the coupler. This is like a boosting on a budget show. This is the rear hanger for the muffler. Just gonna clean it up. Alright, time for an update. So what's been happening? I have been so fucking busy with this turbo install, going back and forth. There's a lot involved to doing this. When you don't have a proper bench, you don't have every proper tool you need, you don't have proper camera setup, everything. So I apologize that I am skipping through some shit, but some crap happened and I had to put everything down. So let me show you real quick. Yesterday, the bottom flange was about 2 millimeters away from the transmission. So I was trying to loosen these up and see if I could pull it away from the transmission and then tighten it up, but it just kept going back. So I got the idea, the dumb idea I should say, to go down there and stick this between the turbo downpipe flange and the transmission and pull it. What ended up happening is it snapped right here at the weld. Now this flange here is a 4-bolt that converted to a V-band. However, I'm not using a V-band, so I cut the V-band off and then I welded on the pipe for the downpipe. Anyways, so I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a pain in the ass just because it happened, but I'm actually glad that it happened here and now, because can you imagine if, 6 months down the line I'm driving and then poof, that shit fucking snaps, and then what am I gonna do? Nothing. So that snapped because I did not weld the inside of the flange, so it wasn't strong enough, and I was fucking really prying the shit out of that thing. So I'm not fucking surprised that it actually snapped. But like I said, in hindsight, I'm actually glad that it happened now, and I was able to fix it, and I welded the inside. I mean, that thing is fucking solid. It's not going to break again. Not like that, it's not. If it breaks, it might be somewhere else, but it ain't gonna break there, that's for damn sure. So I'll show you guys where I'm at now. Bones are still cold, so here is the turbo downpipe going out, and it is a little bit lower than I'd like, so I'm gonna have to cut that off at the end here. This is the flex pipe. Man, I almost feel like I should cut this over here and then put another pie cut there, just so it's not so damn low. I might end up having to do that. I don't know. I don't want to have to cut it again, paint it again. But I'm definitely going to cut this off right here and then go that way. It moved on me, so now I have to go make sure it fits, but it's hot as fuck. We're good. So I was also able to line this up. Something to mention while you're welding all these pipes together, what you can do is actually let it sit for, you know, a few seconds so the pipe cools down, pick it up, take it up over to the light and cover up the big opening. But when you look inside, you can see if there's any cracks or any pinholes of light coming through. And that's exactly what I've done through the whole turbo back. So I can go back and fill those in. Okay, so what I did here is I tried to cut the same angle on each side, and what this is going to do is it's going to drop the pipe just a little bit, and then it's going to even it out when I come out the other side, hopefully. Four minutes left on this fucking battery that was supposedly fully charged. Bullshit. Let me tell you something. Battery powered shit, the technology is just not where it needs to fucking be, because these batteries don't fucking last. They went bad, I guess. I'm gonna show you guys where I'm at. There's the exit for the downpipe right above there. 3-inch all the way back. 3-inch, 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 and then poof. Barracks muffler. And that's where we're at. It's taken me a long time to get this fucking far. What I'm going to do now is I have gaskets I need to put on, and I'm going to take that muffler off. I need to run the boost reference lines, and then I'm going to try, I also need to plug in the intake. And the dump pipe is not connected yet, but the dump pipe is done. Where did I put that? Anyways, the dump pipe, I'm going to take the muffler off. I got to put the O2 sensor on. And then I'm going to start this bitch up and let any of those exhaust pieces that are just loose inside the exhaust flow the fuck out. And then I'm going to take the muffler down, the whole exhaust down again, and I'm going to hit it with some black. And then slap everything back on, and I should be done, hopefully. Wish me luck. Had to put this dirty ass hat on so I don't get my favorite hat dirty. Just gonna hit this with some black right here. Make it look nice. Well, it's not beautiful, but whatever. Yeah, I know the welds are not beautiful. They're not perfect. But I did what I could. This is gonna be a bitch because this has to push in order to go in. If you blink, you're gonna miss it in this video, but I use a huge clamp to get the perfect seal for the wastegate. Because the firing ring pushes up against the port, you're gonna need something to push down on it, so I use a huge clamp from one end to the other and squeeze that thing together. Otherwise, you're gonna have a huge boost leak. Ask me how I know. This happened when I did the turbo upgrade on my Mustang EcoBoost. I'll figure something out here. What I'm gonna do is use this one later on. And I'm gonna put this down here. So I'm gonna have to drill a hole there. But this is where we're at. Everything's just about connected. Almost done here. Moment of truth, guys. I'm still missing. I'm missing a silicone hose, 2 silicone hoses, so not 100% right now. Right now it's open, no muffler. Now I'm going to put the muffler on. You have to be. So I've just connected the muffler with the valve. Let's see how it sounds. So for anyone who wants to run a line, for their controller inside the trunk, lift this thing up here, and there's a little grommet there, and on the bottom has this fat grommet right there. big turbo upgrade for the Toyota Chaser is finally 99% complete. And I say 99% complete because I still need to figure out what I'm going to do with the intake setup. I don't like how it is right now. I'm going to ask you guys a question as soon as I change the camera over to there, but for the most part the turbo upgrade itself is done. A couple of things. So this is I already mentioned this before, but this is a MaxPeedingrods 3582 turbocharger, and on this car, on this Chaser, it starts to spool at around 4,000. At about 4,100 it is fully spooled and the thing is screaming like crazy. But for me, that comes out way too late. I need something that comes out more around 3,000 or maybe even 3,200. But 4,100 I'm sitting there like taking a nap waiting for this thing to spool up. I understand when you go bigger turbo there's gonna be lag, so I'm going to have to look into going a little bit smaller on the turbo. No, I don't want instant torque like with the stock turbo. That thing was freaking phenomenal, but that's a lot of load on the block itself, so I'm trying to kind of avoid that real high low in torque and stuff. What else? A couple of things. I am not running the coolant through the turbocharger, and I'm not running the coolant through the wastegate either, so there's that to consider on this install. But things to come. So right now I've had to purchase brakes because the brakes on the back are completely shot on this thing. The ones on the front look brand new, so that's kind of great, but it does me no good when the back ones are completely shot. So what I have done is ordered new brake setup. A fella on my Facebook group for the Toyota Chaser only content, actually there's a few people on there, but are Anthony Soto and Alex Brown. Thank you very much for all the feedback, and the rest of you guys on there as well. But very helpful group. Alex gave me a list of every part that I needed to go from the stock brake system to the IS and power stop upgrade kit. So that's exactly what I'm doing. What I'm going to replace is rotors, calipers, going to braided steel lines, and what else? Oh, there's some adapters that I need and stuff. I will try and do a video on that, and I will try to provide everything that's needed for it on that video specifically. On this turbocharger setup, I didn't give details of every single part I used because I pieced this thing together, and I already mentioned it several times. I highly recommend that you guys don't do what I did. Don't piece a turbo kit together because it is such a pain in the butt. I know that the turbocharger kits that some guys have out there are really expensive. You're looking anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, and for peace of mind it is actually worth it. It's going to be a much easier install, so I highly recommend that. What else? I also have the Innovation Motorsports AFR / boost controller that I need to install. I haven't done that yet. I have a couple of things also more that I'm doing and stuff. There's also the Mustang. I need to get that thing ripped apart so I can get it back up and running. But a quick pass of the engine. And like I said, I do have a question for you guys that have done swaps and whatnot. Sit tight. So this is just a 3-inch steel pipe that I welded some little kind of barb type things onto, and some vacuum hoses that I went and purchased on those were on Amazon or whatever. So my question is this thing here. So what I want to do is I want to match the inlet. So instead of going from this 4-inch, I believe is what it is, to a 3-inch, I want to go 4-inch all the way with an L with a 90 degree or a 45. And so this thing is only a 3-inch or maybe 2 3/4, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but I want it bigger and stuff so that I can put a big filter as well. And then I might end up relocating this to go straight down and to the intercooler and whatnot. But even if I don't put this in here in the tire well, because wheel well, excuse me, even if I don't put the intake into the wheel well like I was thinking of doing, or even if I don't go all the way down, you know, make a hole or whatever, I was thinking to also do that. This mesh here is to protect it from water, so that's good. But anyways, even if I don't do that, I still want a 4-inch. So my question is there a way to get this sensor separated from this? Is there like an aftermarket one that you can weld onto a 4-inch pipe, or is there a bigger pipe with this thing already on there so that I can just connect it, or what? Here is where I put the O2 sensor, and I'm using the same cover that the stock setup came with. And then I do have these aluminum heat shields over here, barely hanging on, but they're hanging on. They're not going anywhere. I did wrap it around over there, and I did make a hole so it's grabbed onto the bolt down there. Trying to keep some of that heat away from the hose back here and this stuff up here, which I really don't know if it's actually working or not, but it is what it is. As always, thank you for watching, everybody, and stay tuned for more content. I might do another video, I'm not sure, but peace.